Hello, my name is Francis Fox, and I am a trained government remote viewer. Um, I do not currently work for the government, but when I did, I never got paid. I am still a mind control victim. Interesting history I have, which I chose before I incarnated in order to acquire the type of knowledge that I have. And what was my intention for this in this lifetime? Was to acquire a lot of knowledge from the other dimensions to be able to share it to reduce human anguish at a time of incredible transition on planet Earth, the ascension process. So, you also have an intention. You probably don't know it, having to do with this lifetime. But if you look at what has been the most difficult for you, if you look at your history and find out where you've been really beaten up, that will probably provide a thread that if you follow it, you'll end up aligned with your mission. What's the mantra that I recommend? Which is, by the way, the mantra that is the most soothing for everyone and is the one you don't have to do that often. And the mantra is, please, God, help me with my intention to create a miraculously prosperous mission, to create my miraculously prosperous mission. We need to trolley on because I have so much information for you. Let's go into the gossip first because a lot of you only want to see what I have to say having to do with Congress and gossip. So let's go ahead into that. I keep getting Josh Hawley, and I was like, oh God, I like that guy. I think, and I think the danger has passed, but I think there was some danger. I think they were considering trying to do something so that he wouldn't continue to talk. So, in case that's the case, Josh, pay attention, take care of yourself. People like you, perhaps, uh, really irritate power players. Um, my enemies are in a rage at me because of what I'm doing with Venezuela, which basically means their bank accounts are not going to be augmenting dramatically. The people that handled me used my skills to read stuff in Venezuela, natural resources, mining, petroleum, the government. I never got compensated. And I'm going to say something. I don't like it when I say things like this because it probably is not good for me. But honestly, I don't remember any of that. I only remember the last time when my handler literally got into his car, parked in front of my apartment, and started with a rag cleaning his car. He's well to do. Basically trying to scare me because he needed information from me. And it had to do with a deal he made having to do with something in Venezuela, and he couldn't deliver without my knowledge. So, right now, they are in such a rage that yesterday they got together and they had made a plan. I don't know if they finished making the plan to kidnap me. Many times they have wanted to have me killed, but didn't happen. You know why? Because intention creates reality. I'm not leaving now. What are you kidding me? This is just getting good for me. No, 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 no. But their intention was to kidnap me. I have to assume they were going to try to reprogram me. So you know what? I've been stuck at home. On the 22nd, it will be 1 solid year that I have been on self-imposed house arrest to keep away from these people. I'm not too sure how that plan is going today. I suspect it got debilitated. But man, they don't like what I did in Venezuela, which was basically read and lead a group of people to do mantras so that there would be a graceful transition of power in Venezuela. Oh, no, 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 no. We need a mess because in that mess, the bad guys who created the mess are totally able to do their stuff. So, talking about that will lead me into the next theme. Mark Zuckerberg, if you don't take care of my social media, you are going to be very sorry. Guess what? With Trump in power and power to the people, and my intention to get my message to people, and then they can choose to do with it what they want, is totally contrary to what is going to keep you looking like a nice guy. My stuff, my videos on YouTube, they have hired two females that have 12-hour shifts that watch my videos, and then they start knocking down the numbers. The little timer, the little thing that registers how many people liked it, and then it goes back to the same number or it goes below. The number of people that see it is so ludicrous that people say to me, "You must be really good because obviously those are not your numbers." But there's so much evidence. Mark Zuckerberg, I have two clips that are waiting to finish processing from a week and a half ago, and normally they're up immediately. One of the clip, no, it's three clips. One of the clips is about cannabis. So the bad guys or the power players don't want the public to know about cannabis. Trump, you really need to take care of that, please, for all of us. Washington, D.C. would be a much better place if all those people were allowed to smoke and take cannabis. It's an herb, it's a sacred herb, 5,000 years in Ayurveda. Back to YouTube and Mark Zuckerberg. So one clip is about cannabis. No, we're power to the people. No. The next clip is about Mickey Mouse and mind control. In the first place, I thought that putting that out, I'd get my head cut off, but obviously the bad guys are Trump, thank you, in a very weakened state. Now I forgot what the third clip was. I'm not going to look for it because I have so much to share with you, but there's a third clip. Cannabis and 300,000 kids missing. Those are the three that are still processing, when normally it takes 10 seconds for them to be up on my social media. So those three issues are still not resolved. The bad guys are still scrambling to keep their position, which basically means their power and their bank accounts. Mark Zuckerberg, don't help the bad guys, because see, if you help the bad guys, you get classified as one of the bad guys. I don't think you're paying enough attention. Also, it's coming out that there's a power group within YouTube that are into black magic, and they deviate funding from the people who put out the videos. Now, I do not know that for a fact, but I can tell you that and they're females at this point, before they were men, that would sit there leaning back with their legs up on the desk during my chats. The kind of people that right now are supervising my YouTube chats, it would make sense that they would be into black magic. But I'm only saying somebody else said this, just in case, Mark, you might want to look into that. Because you see, nobody in the age of revelations can possibly hide anything that should be revealed. Okay, international. Panama, Trump, I don't know what's going on with Panama, but you need to supervise Panama. There's an energy there. In the first place, I was in a base in Panama. I have to tell you, when I looked back in my life, when I was doing psychological therapy, which is really very inefficient, I would say to the therapist, Panama's really dark. Now, Panama was cut. You don't do that to the land and not pay a consequence. Panama is really dark, but that's fine. I'm not saying that now. I have too many current things. Currently, there's something going on in Panama. There's people gravitating to Panama that know a lot about magic, that know a lot of stuff. I suspect mind control also. I have some stories for what was done to me in Panama that you would go, oh my God, that's not possible. Why? Oh my God. Including Indians in Panama that are cannibals. One day I'll tell that story. Wow, have I done therapy on that? Have I done mantras? And by the way, what happened to me with those Indians, and it's known, they also shrink the heads of, what happened to me there is the root cause of my issues with my bladder. And bladder has to do with rage. And if you're a female, rage with the opposite sex, men. And if you're a male, rage at females. So prostate, bladder, giving you a little tip. Do your whole doctor thing, hopefully alternative, but do your mantra about hating, if you're female, men hating women. It's like very time and cost efficient. McCain was in that base in Panama. And when the Chinese said that he was a spy, and I read that decades ago, I went, that makes sense. That makes sense. Did he know he was a spy? If he was a mind control victim, he wouldn't. But there's a lot of stuff in terms of McCain, and I have to say, personally, when I see him, whatever, when I used to see him, I know he's passed, I did not dislike him, which may mean that he's a mind control victim or was a mind control victim. Anyway, you might want to look into what's going on today in Panama. I'm going to make this statement. Panama, right now, or has been, was one of the darkest places on the planet. Okay. In terms of your body, your left eye is symbolically the left eye of Horus. Horus has to do with third eye, da, 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 da. You can use what's going on with your left eye as a way of self-diagnosing. And if you notice my left eye, how much smaller it is than my right eye, left eye. And the eyelid, of course, not. I woke up yesterday morning and it was as if somebody had hit me right here. I was literally bruised, but not skin surface to where you could see bruising. But it was like, oh my God. And I didn't need to say what hit me. I know what hit me. I was getting invaded, or at least the spirits were trying to invade me. Here's the trick. If you've done any of the looking at the interesting things having to do with, the people they accuse of being reptilian, that there's so much confusion with that one day I'm going to actually take the time to ask the dolphins and pull it all together. But for now, when you see those photographs of power players, politicians, look at the way my eye is going, getting weaker as I speak. They sure don't want me to talk about this. If you see the pictures of them with these big bruises, it's always on the left eye. How come you guys didn't notice that? Oh, wow. I really can't speak. Okay. For those of you that are listening to this on the podcast, right there where you click for the podcast, you do have the link to this video. Swallowing. Okay. Pull myself together. They really don't want this information out. When you see those politicians and those power players with bruises on the left eye, what it means is they did not want to be invaded, but they weren't able to fight it off for whatever reason. They were too tired, too many lies, too unhappy, whatever. Didn't mean. But those bruises are indicative of a battle that was fought, that person did not allow that invasion easily. If they got that badly bruised, does it mean they were finished invaded? We're all invaded to some extent. I am too. Look at my left eye. So when you sit across the table from your kids, you have to check their eyes. If their left eye is limping, they're suffering emotionally. Okay? They really are. And if you could see white under the eye or above the eye, you have a person that's not in a good place. And they have a higher risk of dying tragically, such as Kennedy and several, I think Marilyn Monroe also, coincidentally, they knew each other, whatever. But there's many other people. You can look it up. It's a condition called Sampaku. Okay? So left eye, very important. But it doesn't necessarily mean the person's bad. What it means is that Galactics want that person to be under their control. And they're fighting to get them under their control. I'm telling you, I've never felt like I was bruised there. I could see the eye. The wrinkle gets worse, or I get 3 wrinkles instead of 1. Never seen that. But yesterday, when we were working diligently on through our intention, vitalizing our intention that there be a peaceful transition of government in Venezuela. I got the bottom line. I don't think I said this before because I think I got it yesterday. Venezuela. Remember, I said, Trump, that Venezuela could end up being your Ukraine, but we don't know how would that be? Whatever. The issue with Ukraine is the same issue with Venezuela. Natural resources. Oh, okay, we already know that, Francis. No, what you don't know is that the natural resource has to do with minerals, crystals. Oh, okay, we know that too. No, you don't. Crystals that galactics need to function off planet, their spaceships, they need certain crystals that are in Ukraine and they're in Venezuela. So, whereas we have the mafia that's made my life miserable since I was a child, and then we have other bad people wanting to get for the natural resources to sell them and make all these millions of dollars, which they don't deserve, which because they're not Venezuela and they didn't pay for them properly. You have galactic. Oh, you don't believe in aliens? Skip this part. Skip this part. Man, are you going to be out of tune and left behind if you're still struggling with aliens? You pray to angels. Hello, what? Grow up. Grow up and talk about it to make it easier for everybody else to get on board without being influenced by the disinformation having to do with aliens. Because in this country, the United States, if you talked about believing in aliens, they thought you were like really low IQ and stupid and probably had a really small bank account because you were so stupid. Not the case in other countries. I don't know about Europe. Latin America, Central America, the Caribbean, everybody has seen a spaceship, or their cousin did, or they see them regularly. So when the whole process of negotiating with aliens, Americans are going to get left behind. I do think that perhaps this week there will be an opening having to do with the government giving us permission to believe. This is so ludicrous. Oh my God. Okay. This is the important part of this particular podcast. See the map behind me? Let me see how I can make it to where you can actually see more. I have to move here. Nope, I got to move here. You see that intersection? Those are the three hurricanes that are listed here, and then there's a fourth one, Milton. I'm not 100% sure, and I'm very bad with visuals, whether it actually intersects there also. But here's the trick. We have a problem, okay? I think this is the map. You see this map? You see that circle in Florida where it says sex trafficking? That Florida is no longer wonderful since somebody achieved their intention through magic to destroy the relationship between Trump and Elon. Okay, so Florida's not shining so bright. Okay. Florida's helpful friends in Feng Shui. That's important. Don't worry about it. We'll deal with that later. That circle is a circle of disaster, potential disaster due to sex trafficking there. That's a portal. In 2018, Venezuela had a portal in the south part of the country due to abuses of humans in the mines. I told you. I don't know if this was current, but in their history, they would kill everybody associated with the mines that didn't actually work in the mines. They would kill the children, the old people, the injured people, the weak women. They'd kill them all. They didn't want to give them a goddamn plate of food. So they kill them. They wouldn't just say, go, they would kill them. Well, that's anguish, human anguish. It broke open a portal. Central Florida has a portal now. Okay, Francis. Okay, we got it. You've said this a couple of times. Let me go over the map now. This is the map from 2 days ago, I think. Canada dead. Galactic Federation has a major spaceship above the United States protection. United States is spiraling, anchoring love. This is good. The pyramids in the Gulf of Mexico, Gulf of America are rising up to protect the United States. You have the green in both borders, protection. Mexico, I've said it. Mexico's going to have a great relationship with the United States. I don't really care what's going on in the news. I don't really care. Because since when have they been able to guide us spiritually or to tell us future accurately? Okay, Mexico's going to bloom. That's what came out in the. When I do these maps, my intention is always what's important to know. Okay, I do have a lot of Mexican followers, so for me, it's good that that comes out, but that's not the reason why it comes out. My protocol is what's going to determine what's going to come out. So then you have Florida with a big portal. Okay. Now, I've been kind of hitting on that subject in social media and I've talked about it. Remember, I told you that the reason why the sex trafficking and the 300,000 kids and all the rest of it can continue, listen carefully to what I'm saying, is because of the black magic that was done to basically put everybody asleep. So all of you that are screaming, where's the Epstein list? Give me a break. You don't need any more people from your little chair in front of your computer. There's already enough people. Now what are you going to do? Like when people scream about the government's hiding the alien thing. We already know that. Why do we need the Epstein list in the list? You already know the power players. Maybe there's a couple more people we need to know about it. Know about. And then what are you going to do behind your little computer screen? Okay, get a little bit more efficient with your focus and your intentions. Okay, so maybe that portal opened because I and other people are focusing on the 300,000 kids that nobody thinks about because there's been programming and continues to be programming on that mind controls the entire population of the United States, plus all the parents and grandparents and cousins of those 300,000 Latin kids, mainly Latin kids from Latin America, Central America, Caribbean, whatever. Believe you me, in a Hispanic family, if your cousin goes missing, there's a lot of screaming and crying and a lot of lighting of little candles to the Virgin. People don't forget that. They don't forget that. And their grandparents and the aunts and uncles, you're talking 50 people per kid. Now, we did pick up that there are people that are paid to work with those countries to shut up those people. But beyond that, there is black magic, which is the reason why, forgive me, this country has looked so but dumb. Because so much black magic has been done on us. Mind control, mind control, mind control. Pay attention, together with psychotronic weapons. And that's a bad combination and is one of the reasons why, if this planet explodes, it will be because free will has been completely wiped out by these people. Okay, back to the subject. That intersection is in the part of Florida that I know is a portal. But I've known that always. That's why they have Mickey Mouse, Magic Kingdom, and also why the space shuttle is there. The space shuttle is not bad. The Mickey Mouse thing, we need to find out to what extent they knew, Disney, that their characters are used in mind controlling little kids and an entire country. What's the symbol for the United States until recently? The American eagle. No. Nobody in Europe knows the American eagle, and neither they know the American eagle. Mickey Mouse. The United States was symbolized by Mickey Mouse. Yes. So there seems to be you guys need to figure that out. So we have a portal here. We have a portal in the portal, but we have a new portal. And then we have hurricanes. And then we have Frances Fox, who's very connected to Mother Earth. Okay? The crazy lady's very connected to Mother Earth. And I'm like, I'm not comfortable. And then I get on, and I was going to talk about this anyway, and I get on the news. We have a hurricane headed our way. Erin, she's the Category 5. I'm actually not so worried about Erin. There's a couple more. I think I'm worried about the third hurricane. Which one is that? I don't know. Because there's two more already forming, but they may dissipate. But I think it's going to be the third hurricane that basically will devastate Central Florida. I think Palm Beach, where Trump lives, is there. Certainly Tampa, which is one of the military bases that I was on, the base there would be affected. Disney would be affected. The space shuttle would be affected. I'm not talking affected, I'm talking wiped out. I'm talking catastrophic, worse than Katrina. Now, the future's elastic and plastic. That can happen or not happen. We will start at 2 o'clock. In a few minutes, we're going to start working on Central Florida, on that area that we have already identified in my Montrista movement group, that there are little kids there that are in a really bad place. But I don't think that God is going to allow just us purifying the anguish and the pain. And I don't think we're going to get away with that. I think God is going to want something to actually happen. In other words, to stop it, not simply to clear up the emotional reaction of those children. 300,000. I'm not saying there's 300,000 children there, but there is a center there having to do with sex trafficking. And if somebody thinks I should not have said that because we're investigating to see where to find the people, you know what? I was a sex trafficking victim. Honestly, you don't want anybody to live like that for 3 seconds. But forget me. I don't think that God is going to let us get away with this. I think that there is going to be a historic consequence to not addressing that issue tomorrow morning, Monday. And again, I don't think that Aaron is the hurricane that's going to do it. I think it's going to be the third hurricane, not the three that are in play now. I could be wrong because these things can change at the drop of a hat, because you've seen hurricanes that are going straight here and then all of a sudden they turn. Now, the center of hurricanes, the eye of a hurricane, I think I want to, well, no, let me not do that. Sometimes you've seen these photographs where the eye of a hurricane looks like an eye. It is. That's why they call it an eye of a hurricane. Okay, so what's that eye? That eye is an eye of consciousness. The problem is that there are people so powerful, probably guided from off-planet people, that they know how to haunt the eye of hurricanes. So that rather than being consciousness, a spirit, because you have an eye of consciousness, that's your spirit. At this point, it's in solar plexus, garbage can of emotions. It's supposed to be up in your heart, but we won't go there. Yes, I'm ADD, but you got an extra piece of information. So there are people that know how to haunt natural catastrophes. And I'm not sure that it's electronic. Could be, could be technology driven. Not sure. I should look into that. So Aaron could be headed right there, but it could end up being what takes down all the focus in the United States. It's going to be so catastrophic. Do you know how long we've been dealing with the sex trafficking stuff? Well, I don't know. A lot of years, a lot of people. And I'm sure we want to do it right, Bondi. But maybe there's other priorities. I wonder if Bondi is like perfectionist. Yes, we want to do this right, and we want to get the right people, and we want to make sure that we don't collapse the country. And I understand that. But you know what? I think we don't have that time. I don't think we have the time. I was the one who predicted the earthquake on October 20th, 2001, after 9/11. I've predicted a lot of things, most of which have come true, some of which we've been able to prevent with my Mantrista movement, where we work with the elements, because that's the level you have to work at. I don't think we're going to be able to take care of this, because I think God has determined that this needs to be taken care of. So rather than wait for the disaster, and we can't, in other words, I'm going to repeat it again. We cannot take care of this. My group is very powerful. I am very powerful. I know people who can deviate a hurricane. Not clear it, but deviate it. I don't think God's going to allow that. Don't think God's going to allow that. Okay, next, I'm going to go into something really neat. You know, the movie Matrix is one of the most seen movies. And every day something is up on X, with one of the quotes and to remind us it was really great. I didn't understand. I was like, what is the problem here? Oh, a deep split in me. So in the movie The Matrix, there is a tube that is inserted in the back of Neil's neck. And then everything changes. He's already all of a sudden in a different place. Those are, I'm calling them matrix implants. We have more than one. I suspect we all have one here in the left ear. We probably have it in the back of the neck. We have more. I clear those. Actually, on Monday, I clear them free of charge in my chat on Monday. I'm forgetting a piece, something Kennedy was put out yesterday on X. So here's the trick, which is the tie-in between autism and the matrix implant, but it's in the back of the liver. Oh, that's it. The kids that got the vaccine for hepatitis B, if I misquote this, somebody please correct me. And I should have looked it up before I started. But I actually was thinking about, I'm going to give you guys a present, not proving anything. But so the vaccine hepatitis B, Kennedy, and that was on X yesterday, those kids, massive percentage high, went into autism. So I was like, okay, hepatitis B is the liver. Guess what I clear on Mondays? The liver. And guess what I do to the liver? I cut an implant in the back of the liver that connects all of our livers to Orion, the planet that is taking us down. Okay, Francis. No. I'm telling you. I was like so happy because we're piecing it together. And the Kennedy, you know what? He needs a special place in our history. He needs awards. People should be throwing rose petals in his path as he walks. And he should earn more money than God because believe me, the bad guys don't want this information out. But let's get to the gift that I want to give you. This matrix implants in the back of your liver is the reason why on the cross, I feel like crying now, Jesus Christ, the lance that was next to him was in his liver. He was wounded in his liver by a lance. He was trying to leave us a message. And the message is, check out the liver. It's more important than just being an organ. Well, in Chinese medicine, it handles your body temperature. Everybody's liver is too hot. And they know if you have a hot liver, you're cranky. Isn't it the French that are supposed to have a hot liver? But why didn't they look into what has a hot liver? Maybe that information wasn't supposed to be out, but I'm going to tell you. The liver has a matrix implant in the back. And most healers and people don't look at the back of the chakras of the body, whatever, because it's different from the front. And it infuses us with a type of spiritual sewage from off planet. So you don't want to accept Orion? That's okay. Not a problem. From off planet. When you have enough spiritual sewage in you, your frequency changes and you end up your consciousness in the lower astral planes, which is like being in hell. Your behavior is different. Everything is different. If your frequency is really low, that implant in the back of the liver makes your frequency low. And it includes, I don't remember the list, but it includes rage. And it is the portal via which there may be another. Until now, I've only seen that one, via which the energy of the devil is inserted inside of you. Now, when you close that, you're a different person. So they open that somehow with those hepatitis vaccines that are for the liver. They open it enough to where a significant percentage of the people, kids, become autistic. I think all autistic children go into rages. No surprise. They're not functional. No surprise. Their frequency is different. But more than that, they have a tube, a matrix implant. So, what's my gift to you? I'm going to cut everybody who's listening to this chat and everybody who's listening to the podcast. I am going to cut that. Now, but before I start, and this will be the last thing I do here, let me check my notes. Zuckerberg, pay attention. Okay. The first thing you have to do to cooperate with this healing is to basically be okay with me doing it. And if you don't want me to do it because I am very powerful in the other dimensions, thanks to the US government, I feel like kicking them. You visualize. So, oh, you don't know how to visualize? That's okay. Just think that you have a block of ice inside your liver in the back wall. Okay, now you're going to be cooling down the liver. Okay, now I'm going to cut that matrix implant. And then I have a master that comes and basically pulls it away, what I cut, and what's still inserted in you, but the tube is no longer connected. Okay? So the mantra would be, please God, help me with my intention to create a miraculous purification of my liver. Please, God, help me with my intention to create a miraculous purification of my liver, and I'm going to do it right now. So check yourself right now. And I'm going to put up the white dress in case it's an instant change in you. I'm not suggesting that it will be, but you just never know because miracles are really easy today, not just for me. Okay, so I'm going to do it now. Please, God, help me with my intention to create a miraculous purification of my liver. There's the dress. And I am in the process of cutting it. It's happening because I'm also cutting it on myself. Give me a second. As usual, a lot of interference. I have a shaman who spent some time in Panama recently. He may still be there. He's working on me now. He does not want me to do this. Some stupid, possibly mind control person. And he hates it when I can see him. I'm working. I'm talking to you, but I'm working. I think I did it because I'm seated much more naturally in my chair. My body has relaxed. Now, the whole thing with you putting the ice in your liver is to cool it down. And the dress does look more white. Doesn't look so good at the bottom. There's some, okay. You should check how you feel. You see the way I'm speaking slower, more feminine, not so pushed. And again, I'm at 40 minutes when I'm supposed to be at 20. 40 minutes in terms of this chat podcast. But I'm much more relaxed. Give me a second because there's interesting stuff happening in the back of your liver. There's a huge snake, obviously in the other dimensions, that is not a happy camper. Now, if you every day visualize that you have a piece of ice inside your liver up against the back wall, you will cool down your liver, which is what you go to Chinese doctors for, to cool down your liver, which will make your life more pleasant. You'll digest better. the whole 9 yards. I'm still watching what it is that's happening there. Ah, this was a deep implant. It's a matrix implant. That's what I'm going to call them. But you have them all over your body. If you have a disease, you have one of the matrix implants there. And when you take it off, it's so much easier to heal because you're not getting infused with really bad energy. I'm going to end this here, but I'm probably going to work on this a little bit more because there's a lot happening there right now, which has not been the case before. Um, and I would like to beat up on this shaman, but I'm not supposed to do that because any problem that you have is for a reason. And why would I need for this man to show up? He's competition for my followers who I can't really give them enough information on them to know that they're being probably subjected to stuff in the other dimensions. What would it be? I'll figure that out on my own time. So I'm Francis Fox. I don't know if I'll be here tomorrow, but this sex trafficking, what did they call it when they were trying to free the slaves? They had a underground railroad. This is underground. This is the same thing. In other words, on top, Disneyland, military base in Tampa, space shuttle. But underneath is what needs to finish in order for this country not to have a catastrophic happening. Okay? Zuckerberg, take care of this thing. Honestly, because you look like a sweet guy. Maybe these were decisions made previously and you need to address them. And the people that are taking care of my chats on YouTube are stupid. And their bosses are stupid. Don't get yourself into trouble because there's some stupid people handling what is potentially an important account. Okay? Take care of it because I'm not going to stop talking about it. Oh, the new thing, Zuckerberg. I buy my music. I pay for it because I already learned you can't use other people's music. I don't have a problem. I have accounts. I can download music, but I just use my music because the frequencies are important. So I commission them for you to have the right frequencies. So the way they would take my stuff down in YouTube was to say I was using somebody else's music and somebody claimed I was using their music. Well, I wasn't using their music because it's 15 pieces that I have that I use over and over again. So 250 countries will not be seeing your stuff, Francis, because these people claim that you're using their music. So I think YouTube is listening to me. And so now they know. So now what they're doing, like the Venezuela thing, they took it down. 250 countries cannot see this because somebody claimed. But they don't want to be in trouble. So now within 24 hours, 48 hours, they say, oh, they released their claim. That's new. We're not stupid, Zuckerberg. But maybe you're not paying attention to things you need to pay attention to. I'm not letting this go. Okay, got it? I'm not letting this go. Too many nice people break their backs to put good stuff up there, and nobody has the right. We can say all sorts of god-awful things. We want to help 300,000 children? That's a problem. You want to talk about Mickey Mouse, mind control? That's a problem. Zuckerberg, take care of it. But take care of it today. Don't wait till tomorrow. Take care of it today. Thank you for listening, guys. And hopefully, maybe I can become less sarcastic and I can be more sweet. Not so easy in my position. Oh, last piece of information. I have a lot of people around me who, without knowing, and I didn't know either, part of their mission in this lifetime was to trash me so that I would be isolated, so that I would do all my self-correcting or most of it, and I would be able to raise my frequency, and then I would be able to come out and do all this stuff. I want to say to all those people, listen, it's okay. I forgive you. I understand, actually. That's why in Buddhism, they know that the people that behave poorly, those are the people that are the most above. It's okay. I forgive you. Okay? I forgive you. It's okay. Come back. If it's appropriate.